My guest for today is Abbas, the bassist of one of India's biggest and most cutting-edge death metal bands, Godless. Starting a decade ago, Godless has been pummeling the ears of national and international audiences through their blend of crushing yet technically laden death metal music. However, this is not all there is to Abbas, as he also provides his skills in audio engineering and audio rental and backline to the live music scene through his company, Infinity Pro Audio. Now, with the new vocalist in tow, Godless has released their latest EP, Genesis of Decay. So I sat down with Abbas at the launch of the release in Bangalore to talk about the new EP, Godless's origins and artistry, Abbas's journey in audio engineering, and so much more. So, without further ado, here's me with Abbas from Godless. Abbas, thank you so much for speaking to me, man.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me.
So, right off the bat, before we start this interview, I'd like to show you two pictures. Mihir, man behind the camera.
Oh.
Give me your phone, please.
This is surprising way to start an interview.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'd like to show you this picture right here.
Okay.
This was from a time
Oh, sure, I remember this.
when the band just started,
Yeah, I remember
and you
this.
hadn't put out any merchandise yet. So what I did was I got some stickers from the gig.
Yep.
I laminated them and I sewed them onto
I
my
remember this. I
vest.
remember this very well. I remember when you took this and you said that you're going to do this as well.
Yeah, exactly. So let it be known that I technically had the very first Godless patch.
Definitely did.
Right?
With the old logo.
Yeah. And next is one of my favorite pictures of you that I've clicked over the years.
Oh, yeah, I remember this as well. I think this might have been at the Wacken battle.
I think maybe,
20
or it could have been a Deccan Rock. You guys played Deccan Rock, right?
The Behemoth one.
Huh?
The Behemoth one?
Yeah, the Behemoth.
Yeah. Could have been that actually. I'm trying to see what t-shirt I have. I think this was Deccan Rock. No, sorry, Wacken battle. The indoor thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Royal Orchid.
Cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. So I just have to say, Genesis of Decay, the new EP. I don't know how, but it just hits different compared to everything that Godless has released before. So is there any sort of X factor that has happened? Anything that you have done differently from the previous album? Tell us about it.
Honestly, no, dude. The music was written a while ago. This was supposed to be a full-length album, but we had like a couple of lineup changes, and I think maybe that brought a new energy to the recording.
Right.
But the music was written with the previous members as well, so it's not like the process hadn't changed. Nothing has changed. Yeah, but I mean, we wanted to evolve with the music, right? So we wanted to push ourselves to write better and more fast and aggressive music. So that's where the music went naturally. Yeah, but yeah, having the new vocalist and a new drummer in the band, they brought their own their flair to it, you know. So that's probably what was it. But the music definitely did go in that direction before the lineup change itself.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that new vocalist being Nangsan
Nangsan, yeah.
of Plague Throat, who is absolutely awesome. How did Nangsan get into the fold?
Yeah, dude. Actually, Moise and I were talking about when Kaushal informed us that this is what he wanted to do, and move on, and just wasn't able to keep up with things the way it was going, and we were just throwing around names, and we didn't actually have any serious names in mind, and a bunch of people reached out to us, and they wanted to do like audition or jam or send some videos across, and one name that we kind of discussed was Nansang, but we thought like it's too difficult, man. He lives way too far away, so we might not be able to pull that off. And then Nansang actually hit us up without us reaching out to him. He hit us up, man. I'd love to audition for us. Like, dude, you don't need to audition for the band, dude. We know you well enough because we go back like way back, you know. So like we've known each other for a very long time. So the audition part of it was not even required. It was more about how can we make this happen. And we discussed, we figured out how to make it happen, how to keep like what the plans for the band is for the next year or 2 years, whatever we had in mind, and how we're going to make the rehearsals and the distance work for us, and it worked out.
Why did Kaushal leave in the first place?
It was just getting too difficult for him to manage, basically, because too many projects, I guess, and too many things happening with the band. So it was I just couldn't keep up with it, and there's honestly no bad blood or anything between us. We've been like family dudes since day one of the band. So he's been super supportive of the band after leaving the band as well. And yeah, I mean, we did the recording. He's heard the music. He's really happy with how Nansang's playing the stuff that he's written as well. So it's quite good. And yeah, I mean, it just wouldn't work out.
Yeah, it's sometimes like the logistics of just being not only a band, but a band that is like spread across different cities. It can kind of, tax people and make them rethink their commitment. So I get the feeling that that's the sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the rehearsals got hectic because we always rehearse in a different city. We don't even
Right.
and usually it's not Bangalore. Even though two members are from Bangalore, it always was Hyderabad or Chennai or somewhere else. But yeah, so it just became a little difficult with that. And then also like the commitment of traveling, taking time off work, touring. I mean, and we don't want to take breaks with the band. We want to keep pushing ourselves to being busy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if I'm not wrong, this year it's going to be 10 years of Godless, because you started out in 2015, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you look back on the journey of the band and everything you've achieved so far?
Not much to look back on, man. I mean, yeah, we've done a fair bit, but this is just the beginning. I feel there's a lot more that we want to do, a lot more that we want to achieve, and so it's just starting off. I feel, man. So even though it's 10 years, yeah, we've got 4 records out now, and yeah, it's been good, man. We had a vision right from the beginning, so we knew what we wanted to do, and we're just trying to, tick things off the list that we have, that kind of thing. So it's not been like we don't like think too much about nostalgia and all that. Just keep pushing forward, and that's just try and do what we do.
Yeah, so like nostalgia and legacy is not really that important. It's all about like what you do in the moment and what you achieve in the moment.
And just set a bar for yourself and like keep exceeding, like keep pushing yourself to being better, like, and pushing the quality of your live performance or your own playing your own instrument or the music that you write. That's what's most important to us. So looking back on it, yeah, I mean, it's been great. We had a great time over the last year. We've done a lot of things that we also didn't think would have been possible, but it's been good. But there's a lot more to do and a lot more to work towards.
So Godless is not your first band from people who look into your background. You've had bands before, but how has Godless in particular pushed you as an artist and an instrumentalist?
So like when we started Godless, I was already not in another band, but like that was my first band ever. Like, and that's where I kind of learned everything. How to manage things, how a band should be, and made a shitload of mistakes and learned from that and tried to not repeat that with Godless. And yeah, the music part of it was not even like, we didn't have a specific direction, honestly, death metal or thrash metal, whatever. We spent about the first 6 to 8 months just writing songs, like writing a bunch of songs, scrapping a bunch of songs, and then finally we had the first song, which was Infest, and that felt like, okay, this is what Godless is. This is how the direction of the band should be. And then learning that playing a live set, we started off playing like for 40-minute sets and just pushing ourselves. Like, at each gig, it's physically really, really taxing. So just practicing a lot, making sure you're good at your instrument and writing music for the sake of being good music, not for the sake of, this be good live or this be good in the studio. Just what feels right. So writing that kind of music, making good music that feels good to us and is honest, basically, and just pulling that off live with like good intensity, basically. That's how it's been. So yeah, so basically a lot of practice goes in to make sure that you're able to put off a good live set. So that's how that came about.
Okay. And speaking of your first band, you recently had a reunion with that first band, which was Script in Hyderabad. So how did that come about, and what were your feelings going into it?
Very random, dude. That was so we hadn't thought about this. We didn't even rehearse, dude, honestly. So we all the whole bandmates just got up for a drink. And Ramya, our ex-guitarist, everyone's an ex-member actually, it's not a band even. But like the guitarist, she was in town in India. So we got up for a drink, and then we called the other guitarist of Script, Joel, came down, then the drummer came down. We all caught up and we're like, hey, why do we do this? Like we're all here. And we'll get the drummers now playing for Australian, and the vocalist of Australian is also from Hyderabad. So we asked him if he'd be up for like a quick jam and learning a few songs and taking this live. And he was super, and he picked it up really, really quickly. And I think we had just like one rehearsal. And with the whole band, and we took it live, and it was fun. It wasn't the best show for sure. It wasn't the tightest and most flawless show, but it was a really fun show.
Yeah, but I'm sure it meant a lot to a lot of fans in Hyderabad.
Yeah, for sure,
seen you in 10 years.
Yeah, for sure, dude. A lot of people came that I didn't even know lived in Hyderabad anymore. Like, a whole bunch of people turned up, and it was really cool to see a lot of old faces. And we played on Tuesday, dude. That's the only the venue was free only on Tuesday, and that kind of just worked with our schedule. We're like, yeah, let's play a gig on Tuesday. Why not?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was actually really, really fun.
Awesome, awesome. So another aspect of Godless that I'm very interested about is the merchandise, because I'm very invested in the aspects of being a band outside the music. And to my knowledge, in my opinion, Godless puts out some of the most high quality merch in the Indian scene right now. So I just want to hear from you. What are your philosophies and ambitions when it comes to putting out merch in the name of Godless?
Dude, first thing, before quality is, regardless of merch or anything, quality is the first priority for us. With everything that you do. Like even like something like, I mean, just making an announcement, we put a lot of thought into every little aspect of it. So merch is also one little part of that, basically. But yeah, but with merch, we want to have like, it's almost like, I mean, something that, I mean, like say, like for a design, like, I mean, would I want that? Like, yes. I mean, it's something that we believe in. Like, I mean, like, would I wear something like that? I mean, the art symbolizes what we kind of like would like for ourselves. It's not something that, okay, this thing will sell a lot more than this. Like, I mean, just maintaining a certain quality, a certain aesthetic. The aesthetic is something which is very important, because it's been something that we kind of tried to maintain over the 10 years of the band. Right. Have a certain created a certain imagery for the band, all that. Find the right artist to work with, and yeah, it's important to maintain the quality is a very, very important thing for us. So like when it comes to, like, I mean, even whether it's a T-shirt or CDs, vinyl, like for example, Genesis of Decay, the new CD that we've released, the CD pressing plant in India hasn't been doing a good job. There's, I think, pretty much only one left now, and basically 1 out of 100 CDs don't work. Oh, and that's a risk we didn't want to take, because we don't want even one CD to not work. So we got everything pressed in Poland. And luckily, something clicked, and something worked out where I had to go to France for a show, and I went, picked up all the CDs from there, got it back to India. We pressed the booklets over here, but we got all the CDs pressed in Poland, because we didn't want to take that risk of one CD not working out of 100, So things like that. So that quality is very, very important to us. And art-wise, yeah, we have a certain aesthetic that we like, and we get the design. I mean, it's something that we think that we would personally like to wear something like this or buy something like this. Yes, so that's what we try to maintain.
Yeah, it's something that you would want to wear in any situation, that you would be proud to wear, instead of, because it's not as simple anymore as just slapping the band logo on the front and calling it a day. So I really like that amount of ambition that
But quality is very, very important to us, man. I mean, with regards to everything, like a live set, the equipment we use, the gear, even if it costs a lot, save up, but make sure the quality is always maintained.
Okay. Yeah. That being said, can we have any colors other than black, red, and white, please? Come on. Come on.
We added red. That's a big thing. That's a big change.
But those are the primary colors when it comes when metal is concerned. It's kind of like the newspaper print colors of metal.
That works for us.
Can we have some green, like some pink or something?
No, you're not going to get that.
Come on. Okay.
But if you like green and pink and other colors, check out this band called Godless. Go get them much.
Oh, you know what? I'm planning to talk to Godless soon, and I'm going to have a long conversation with them about their killer merch. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, okay, fine. No Godless pink T-shirt.
Yeah.
All right. So how does a typical Godless song get constructed? Where do you start from, and how does it build up?
It usually starts with the guitars, dude. Like, so everything works on the guitars, writing a riff and then building around that riff and having a structure to it. And then we usually program some rough drums just to bounce the ideas off each other, just to get a structure of the song. I mean, the drums are almost never the final drums. We just program some drums just so that someone can listen to a demo and get a feel of the song.
Right.
Like, so that we share that within the band, and then we actually sit with the drummer, and the drummer works on his parts, and then all the other instruments fall in place around that. So the vocals come in after that, and bass also somewhere around there, and then the solos, if we have space for solos. But yeah, usually everything starts with the guitar. And so we start with the structure. Usually starts with just this one riff, man. That one riff clicks and just feels right, and then we build the song around that.
Right. Where do the lyrics come from? What are the influences when it comes to the lyrics?
That's always the vocalist, man, so far.
Oh,
yeah, okay. The vocalist. Sometimes we bounce off ideas. We're like, okay, like with the new record, we spoke about, there's so much happening within the country that it's easy to talk about topics. I mean, there's a bunch of topics that you can cover, So the new record is very socio-political and very specific to India, I guess. And that's a brief he gave Nansang to write the lyrics, and he took that in his direction and has different themes for each song.
Yeah, I can definitely hear Nansang's influence in the new EP, especially when I think of older Plague songs like Manga. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, I can definitely hear Nansang's influence. And now that you've confirmed to me that he actually wrote for this EP, I can definitely hear it.
Yeah, Nansang wrote all his parts, Nikhil wrote all his parts, and that's how. I mean, so they had the creative freedom also, but they also knew that we have a certain sound with Godless.
Right.
So the good thing was we actually played 3 shows together before they had to write their parts for the record. So I mean, so they got the feel of the band, played it live, know what the band sounds and feels like. Actually, not 3 shows, 2 shows I think. Yeah, we played 2 shows and then went to the studio. So they had the feel of the old Godless songs, and they just bought what comes to them naturally as well, with keeping in the back of the mind that this Godless also has a specific sound. So working with that.
Okay, fantastic. Now, I'd like to pivot to your career as an audio engineer. And if I'm not wrong, you are the owner and operator of your own business, Infinity Pro Audio.
Yeah.
So, how did your journey in audio engineering and audio rental start?
This again ties back to music, dude. Through playing in a band, and I was playing this band script, and we wanted to record some music and release music. And back then, this is in the early 2000s or mid 2000s rather, mid to late 2000s. And at that point, there were no studios in Hyderabad, like where you can go and record a song and someone can mix it for you. So I was like, and then just from playing gigs, I started understanding a bit more about sound, setting your tone and all that. And then I got interested in not live sound actually, in audio basically. You can just say audio overall.
Right.
My idea was to learn how to record and mix music, and then come back and record our music, and maybe eventually set up a studio. So that's how. Then I moved to Mumbai, did my audio engineering there, studied there, and while I was studying, we also recorded scripts for TP. I recorded I did the tracking of all the instruments, and then sent it to my friend in New Zealand who mixed it, and that's how the first script EP was mixed and released. And I came back to India, and I'm sorry, Hyderabad, and came back to Hyderabad, and so as a temporary thing, I wanted to do some work before I thought about what studio to set up and all that. And then I got to Live Sound. I knew someone who owned the company, and I spoke with him, and he said, "Yeah, man, we can start tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay." Just went to a show, and the first day he sends me to a gig to mix, and I have no idea how to use a mixer.
Wow.
Yeah, so worked there for 2 years, learned everything in and out of Live Sound, as much as I could at least, and then started investing in gear myself. It's like very small gear, like just some monitors, speakers, analog mixers, some stands, and very basic gear. And then so we started investing more and more in that, and started expanding the company. And it's been about 11 or 12 years, I think, now since I started the company.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah.
What does it take to own and operate your own business in the audio engineering field of India?
Experience, man. You need to be in the field for a while. It's not something that you can overnight. Honestly, buying gear is not difficult. Anyone with money can invest in gear, but using it properly, doing a good show, understanding how to. It's also a service. It is a service industry, so you need to understand how to deal with people, talk to people, get business. So understanding all that, like business development, is one part of it. So it's not a very organized industry. When it comes to that side, because someone who starts it kind of has to wear multiple hats and learn a bit of everything, and that's what I got to learn on the job. So I did work for a company, but then there's a lot more to what I used to kind of almost manage the entire events section of it, like talk to the clients, get the business, set up the gear, mix the shows, and doing all of it. But when you start your own thing, you still have a lot more to learn. So that's something that I learned on the job. So you need to know venues, you need to know how things work, you need to know how inefficient the industry is and how inefficient the people are, and to be patient enough to deal with them.
Right.
Being patient is a very big part of this.
Okay. So pivoting back to Godless, one big achievement in your career was no doubt playing Wacken Open Air in 2018. How did you feel about that when that happened?
It was good, dude. Honestly, when we were on stage, we're kind of building up to it, and we put in a lot of hours of rehearsals going into the show, and thought because it was our first time playing abroad, to a completely different audience,
right?
And it actually felt very comfortable, dude. We got on stage and this is where we should be, kind of thing. It wasn't like there were no nerves, no uneasiness or anything. It just felt very, very comfortable, and that gave us the drive to push and start playing abroad more often. And while we did Wacken, we also did one more club show while we were there, and that led to another tour after that the following year and gigs leading up. Not leading up, but after that.
Yeah. How has your European fan base developed? How have they responded to you, and has that market been growing steadily? Because from the number of European tours you guys do, I think that is definitely my impression.
Yeah, it is improving for sure. But honestly, we've been doing headline tours, and we are a small band, that people probably haven't heard of. Yeah, there are people that turn up that know the band, and definitely have traveled a fair bit of distance to come and see us. But every time we go back, it keeps getting better.
Yeah.
There's a better turnout, better response each time, and the same venues that we played. Like the first time we played there in this venue in 2019, it was like a dead show, man. Very few people there, but the people there had a great time. And so and we played there last year again, the same venue, and the venue they just like you. They're like, where you guys been? What happened between then and now, kind of thing. So it's been good, and that helps. Each time we go back, those same people tell a few more people about the band and bring a few more people down to the gig. And it helps, man. And I think, even the releases, the more you release, obviously, the wider audience you reach. So right. So you want to try and get the music out to as many people as possible, and that's what the tours do. So this time, the idea was the the timing of it was we had booked the tour like last year.
Right.
So we booked the tour like exactly a year ago. In fact, we had confirmed everything. We had most of the dates down. So we had a timeline and a deadline basically. We know this is when we have to go. So we wanted to release a record to coincide with that. So we go there with new music. So we want to go there and promote the new record to a new audience. So that was all thought of and planned in a way that it reaches this.
Yeah, plus I think it also helps from what I've heard from numerous sources that metal is almost kind of like a way of life in Europe. It receives
sure.
so much support in India, both on the side of the fans and also institutionally. So have you gotten that same vibe when you perform there? Have you been noticing that same thing?
No, what do you say? Metal gets support in India.
Metal like gets more support in like Europe than in India, both in terms of the fans and also like institutionally.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course. In Europe, it's like it's a way of life, dude. It's not just a genre of music, like it's a way of life for people over there.
Right.
So it is. It does get a lot more support, and like people are very passionate about. I mean, at the end of it, it's their way of life. They're very passionate about the music that they like. So when they come down and they really, just the conversation that you have with people after gigs and all, you just see how passionate they are about the music.
Right.
And I think the same venue that I was talking about, the way we played 2019 and played last year. It was a venue in Poland, and there were I think 2 or 3 generations of this this thing. There was a grandmother, son, and daughter, so, and they all came together as a family, and so the daughter wanted something like the merch. She could only buy this thing. The dad's like, okay, fine, I'll buy you the extra T-shirt and stuff. That kind of thing.
Yeah, let's go see this death metal band from India. It's a fun family time.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude, but it's actually true. It happens. You can't imagine that happening in India.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so before we conclude this interview, I'd like to play a little game with you. This will be like a quick Q&A.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions and you give me some quick answers, whatever comes to your head. All right? Cool. When and where was your very first gig with Godless?
2015 October 21st, Hyderabad Hard Rock Cafe with Elemental.
Wow, that is the most exact date I have gotten in this interview series so far. Okay. Favorite and least favorite song from your catalog?
Favorite is difficult. It has to be something from the newer record, probably Doctrine of Hate. It's a bitch to play live. I fucking hate playing that song now because it has this really complicated section. But least favorite also because it's difficult to play live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like certain songs like Death Cult is really fun to play live. It's always like intense. You do that. Only Rose is again great, but like I think the new I guess the new song because the new material is fresh. It's a little extra fun and it's also but Doctrine also is an irritating song because it's just difficult as fuck to play.
Okay. Yeah. Most underrated song from your catalog?
Ooh. Not sure. And this is something someone else should say, man. I don't know if I can answer this. I'm thinking of the first record, but pretty much play everything live, so I don't know what. Actually, maybe Orbits of Decay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, from the last record, States of Chaos. That's the last song, the closer. And that song was written by a guitarist at that point, Ravi. And we never played that song live. But I think, that has a good feel. And maybe even, it's another very thrashy, I forgot the name of the song, man. It's a very short, thrashy song we have on that same record. It's a song right after the song we have called Cormorant. I can't remember the song name, honestly. Yeah. But I think that song is, again, I think we played live like once, but it's like super fun, like really fast, aggressive, thrashy kind of song. I think that song is probably maybe, I mean, I think if more people checked it out, they might probably like it a bit more than what they like right now. Okay. So I can't remember the name of the song, but sorry.
Right, fair enough. Okay. Best and worst part of playing live?
Best part playing live, worst part traveling.
Yeah, that is a common theme that I'm hearing all the time. If only had the power of teleportation, I think that would save every band out there a lot of
I'm sure it's like, I mean, if once you're a bigger band and can travel in comfort, it's a lot easier, but right now I fucking hate it.
Okay. Best and worst venue you've performed at?
Ooh. Best venue, I think it was venue in Denmark we played at, in Aarhus. I can't remember the name of the venue, but like amazing venue. Really top-notch gear, very good sound. Worst venue, probably I'll just say name of city, dude. Fucking Pune, dude. Pune, dude. All the fucking venues in Pune suck.
Oh no.
The organizers so far suck, but we're playing in Pune and we're playing at High Space this time, and I've heard good things about the place. And the organizer is someone we worked with earlier, and he's been great in the past. So have high expectations of High Spirits, but the last few shows we played in Pune have all sucked. That city is fucking shit, dude.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying this on camera.
Okay, let's hope that gig breaks that streak for
hopefully,
Pune.
yeah.
All right. If you had to pick one song with which to introduce someone to Godless for the very first time, which song would you pick?
I think Unidos, maybe. I'm not sure. It's a little dynamic, has a lot of riff section, has a lot of riffs, a lot of different. The riffs almost don't repeat, so it's like just like. Oh yeah, I think that's the thing with most of our songs. The riffs, like it's just a collection of a lot of riffs instead of like there's 4 riffs and then you move them up and down. But I think Unidos might be a good place to start.
Okay, fine. If you could feature your music in any TV show or movie, which TV show or movie would you pick?
TV show? I don't know, it makes no sense in the same as Sopranos, maybe it's just because it's my favorite show. I don't know which part of its song, but Sopranos would be cool to have a music in.
I can imagine Michael Gandolfini asking for the Gabagool. That would be a very surreal thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, that would be cool. Or maybe Scarface, somewhere if you can squeeze some music in.
Scarface, I can definitely see a lot more matching. Because like Tony Montana on Coke, I think that is definitely the kind of vibe you can get from a Godless song.
Fly, pelican, fly. Some death metal thing in the back.
Okay. Biggest non-metal influence on your career?
On my career?
Yeah, whether that be your music or your audio engineering career, anything.
Non-music, I think actually Scarface, dude. Scarface, I mean, the story of this guy, I mean, Tony Montana. Just like from where he comes from and what he does has been very inspiring for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no red flags at all. Okay. If you could meet any one of your influencers personally and thank them, who would you pick? An artist?
Someone who's not alive as well? Can be, or someone who's alive?
Someone who's alive, I think that'd be a lot easier.
Yeah. I have met and I have told Kerry King. But I mean, that's before I started playing music though.
Oh, okay.
And at that point I met him. But yeah, Kerry King would be, I mean, Slayer's been, actually Tom Araya probably as well. And Lombardo, whoever's alive in Slayer right now. Honestly, but like number one for me would have been Jeff Hanneman. If I could have met Jeff Hanneman or Dimebag or Chuck Schuldiner, would have been like any of them. 3 of my biggest influences musically. I think I would say Death, Pantera, Slayer, and maybe Morbid Angel, Carcass would be right up there. But yeah, these 3, I mean, specifically the people who are not alive right now, those guys have been a major influence, right? Yeah. Hanneman's been just the riffs that he's written and just his stuff has just been very, very inspiring. And that's one of the reasons I picked up an instrument.
Fantastic. Most annoying thing you have to deal with as an audio engineer?
Bands.
Just in general, bands.
Like, you can deal with the fucking venues and the clients do it, but like when a band comes on stage and doesn't know how to sound check, it's fucking pissing out, dude. Like, it's one thing, you're supposed to play live, you need to understand how to sound check. If you don't know how to do that, it's just like a nightmare, dude.
Okay, so basically like inexperienced bands who have any sound check. Okay, fine.
And actually, I would say more than that is the slightly experienced bands who think they know a lot. Those guys are even more painful to deal with.
Okay,
but they tell you how to do your job.
Yeah, the guys who are kind of like up their ass and think they know what they're doing.
They might know a little bit, but they like really want to tell you how to do your job. They're like, fucking stay there or get your own engineer, dude. Don't fucking come here and tell me how to do my job.
Okay. Okay. Most rewarding part of being a sound engineer, what makes it worth it?
Pulling off a good show at the end of it, like when you have these shows where everything just feels like it just went perfect from start to end, where the band's nailed it and the sounds feel perfect and just everything just like locks in. Those shows at the end of it feel really good.
Okay, fantastic. First rock song you ever heard?
Fuck, I wouldn't know, dude. Metal, like rock, I can't remember, dude. Honestly, so.
It's too long in the past.
Man, way too far back. I can't remember. First, I mean, I can tell you the first metal song that had a major impact on me would have been Start of Heaven.
Okay.
But the one I heard, I honestly wouldn't know, dude.
Okay. So, fair enough. First band T-shirt you ever bought?
Some Korn T-shirt, I think, dude.
Korn?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a surprise.
Yeah, I think it was a Korn T-shirt. Maybe. I mean, I remember. I just saw an old picture of me with a Korn T-shirt, and I think that might have been my first. I used to have WFG T-shirts, so that I had transitioned from those black T-shirts to metal black T-shirts.
Oh. Oh, okay. So you had like a lot of WWE.
Yeah, I only wore wrestling t-shirts at one point. It was all black t-shirts, like
Wow.
since I was a kid.
Wow, that is so serendipitous, because if I could like break immersion for a moment here, back in 2023, I booked tickets for a WWE live event in Hyderabad, and I
Right.
asked you if I could stay. I
Yeah,
asked
yeah.
you if I could stay over, but unfortunately, I fell sick a week before, and I
Yeah,
couldn't
I remember
attend.
that.
Man, yeah. Just think, if I had like come over, maybe I could have like borrowed one of your old wrestling shirts also.
Oh, I don't have any of them.
Oh, you don't have any of them.
No.
Okay.
I have one t-shirt which I had since 2004, which is my Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirt. That's still wear to this day. It still fits.
Yeah, the Stone Cold Steve Austin T-shirt is like classic.
Yeah, and I
Evergreen.
still have it. I still wear it, and it still fits surprisingly. Which is, I bought a really large, oversized t-shirt because that was the only size I had in 2004, and now 21 years later, I still wear it.
Okay. And lastly, dream gig you would love to attend or perform at?
Like a festival or like what lineup?
Any type of gig, whether it be a festival or any particular lineup supporting under any particular artist, whatever.
That I would like to attend.
Yeah, or perform at.
I don't want to perform, bro. I just want to go watch. So, bands like, I mean, I have to scratch Obscura off that list, but
Okay.
Gorod, Cynic, Slayer, Pantera, Black Sabbath if they can still play. At
Yeah.
this point, I mean, just actually that lineup, that the Sabbath farewell thing,
Yeah.
that lineup's pretty sick, dude.
Wow.
I'd pick a lot of. I'd pick at least like 10 bands from that lineup.
Are you planning to go for that last Black Sabbath?
Nah, dude. It just seems like a. I don't even know. Like, I think bands are just playing like the odd, like 2-3 songs here and there, and it's just going to be. Tickets are super expensive. And I don't think it'll be a good experience, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyway, Abbas, thank you so much
Thanks, man. Thanks,
for taking the time to speak to me. And everyone, please check out Godless and all their music on all your music streaming platforms and social media platforms. And if you like this video, like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.